Pseudo-spawn agentic. Compile the mind autonomous.
Right now, a new vocabulary is exploding across the technology market. The term of the moment is Agentic AI. Agentic AI refers to artificial intelligence systems designed to pursue goals and execute tasks over time, rather than just returning a single answer. Entire industries are rushing to adopt these systems, driven by a very familiar, very dangerous assumption. If a problem is hard, adding more AI to it will automatically make the solution smarter. But this chart shows a very different reality. Research firm Gartner tracks technology adoption, and their data projects a severe correction. By the end of 2027, they predict 40% of enterprise agentic AI projects will drop completely off the chart, canceled due to rising costs, weak risk controls, and unclear business value. Google Research recently tested 180 different AI agent configurations to figure out where the breaking points actually are. They found that forcing multiple agents to coordinate on sequential step-by-step tasks can actually degrade the system's performance. Adding more agents to a workflow often hits a strict ceiling, ultimately performing worse than simpler setups. This impending failure rate traces back to a breakdown in language. Across boardrooms right now, organizations do not share a common vocabulary for what these tools actually do. Without clear definitions, companies end up buying, building, or approving architectures they do not fully understand. The result is bloated digital bureaucracy. Surviving a technology hype cycle does not require purchasing the most complex cutting-edge framework available. It requires demanding absolute organizational clarity on how a system operates before turning it on and letting it touch your data. A standard chatbot receives a single input and returns a single output. A workflow follows a predefined script, moving along rigid code paths to execute a structured task. An agent operates dynamically in a continuous loop, autonomously choosing specific tools to complete its assigned task. Distinguishing an agent from a workflow is crucial for project planning. Workflows are highly predictable, easily auditable, and easier to control. Buying a flexible, unpredictable, and expensive agent when a cheap, reliable workflow could have completed the job is the very first step toward project failure. A multi-agent system uses a manager model to coordinate specialist agents. In parallel tasks, specialists execute distinct assignments simultaneously without interfering. But when forced into sequential tasks, a job requiring a single operator gets a committee. The system tangles into a mass of caffeinated spaghetti. Under the weight of its own design, the system breaks down. Information splits up. Handoffs between agents fail. Assumptions drift between nodes. Nobody is completely sure who owns the final outcome. Internal teams at Anthropic and OpenAI have consistently found the same solution for this problem: maximize the capabilities of a single model first. A model is the core underlying AI program, like GPT-4, that generates text or makes decisions. Optimizing a single model call with clear examples and instructions is usually highly effective, while adding extra agents introduces heavy overhead and complexity. Pinning more AI pieces to a whiteboard does not conjure more intelligence out of the machine. It simply creates more failure points. If the system's architecture does not match the actual nature of the work, the project will collapse. We have to shift our perspective away from the code. AI systems are not magic minds floating above a business. They are design tools operating inside human institutions, and they reflect the quality of the instructions, controls, and architecture behind them. There is a persistent myth in the technology sector that complexity equals maturity. Vendors routinely engage in agent washing, slapping the label of autonomous agent onto older, basic automation products because it looks impressive to buyers. A mature system is not the one that is hardest to explain. True maturity is a system that operators can understand, govern, troubleshoot, and improve over time. In practice, the most responsible systems keep human review firmly in the loop. Retaining human oversight for edge cases, high-impact actions, and policy-sensitive decisions is a sign of operational strength and design discipline. A company cannot become AI-ready if only the technical team speaks the language. When executives, managers, and frontline workers outsource all judgment to engineers, they are creating dependency, not transformation. Every department, from HR and operations to legal and finance, needs to ask the same grounded governance questions. What specific problem are we solving? What data can it access? What decisions can it make? Could a simpler workflow solve this? Those functional questions all lead back to the ultimate organizational test. When an autonomous system gets something wrong, who is actually accountable? The word intelligent never means accountable. The operating rulebook is clear. Start with a predictable workflow. Deploy a single agent only when the task genuinely requires judgment, adaptation, and tool use. And reserve multi-agent systems strictly for broad tasks that truly require parallel effort and complex coordination. The multi-agent trap is real, but it is entirely avoidable. The best defense an organization has is shared AI literacy across all its teams. Teach the language, define the terms, and ensure that you never ask your company to bet it to business on buzzwords nobody understands.
Pseudo spawn agentic. Compile the mind autonomous.